Hello world. It's Monday, February the 4th, 2019. Present time, 10 minutes till 11 o'clock p.m. And it's cold outside. Only 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Ta-da! Today started off a little bumpy. I got up around 8 o'clock? I want to say 8 o'clock. And in the back of my mind, I knew that there was something going on at work that I needed to get over to. So I got ready to get out there, put on some clothes, looked at the weather report, and well, not even looked at the report, the forecast. All I did was I looked at the current temperature and I saw it was something like 57 degrees Fahrenheit, which is great. 57 degrees Fahrenheit in the middle of the winter, excellent. So I saw this and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna go out wearing my sweater today. I'm not gonna bother with my coat. So I grabbed my stuff later today and grabbed my little, what do you call this? Like a briefcase? Laptop bag? And I set out. Hopped on the bus in front of the student center, made my way over to the parking lot at Whence. Walked up to my car, and tried the handle, only to find the vehicle was unresponsive. And for a moment I thought, that's odd. I didn't leave anything on. What could have happened? And right before I tried the handle one more time, it suddenly dawned upon me why the door wasn't opening. It's because I had the car keys inside of my jacket, my coat, back in my dorm room. And so I waited for the bus, hopped on, got dropped off in front of the student center, walked back into my dorm room, rifled through my jacket, grabbed my car keys for work, and put them into my satchel. Did the whole thing over again. And before heading into work, I made a point of stopping by the optometrist's office because my contact lenses for my right eye had come in. Bought 90 of them. 90 lenses. And I'll try to get through all of them within this year. Stopped by there, fitted my contacts, drove her to work. Probably hopped in something at 10:14. Nobody said anything. But I think that they noticed I wasn't there at today's stand-up meeting, which doesn't look good. Definitely not a good look. While I was at work, I tried being productive. I left just like 10 minutes past 12. Got back to school, went to my classes, and before my second class started, I went over to the restroom. I saw one of my classmates in there. He was using one of the urinals, and the reason why I paid him any mind at all is because from behind, I kind of recognized him, and he had this brace on his leg. I didn't acknowledge him, but I did notice when he left because he didn't wash his hands. He just boop, went out. Here I am taking a leak. The professor of the class comes over. He also takes a leak. He says, "Hey, Alex." And I've got my glasses like in my mouth, so I just kind of like mumble back up. Yes. "Hey, Alex, how are you?" And I said, "Good." Kind of smiling now. He doesn't respond. So I washed my hands, I walked out of there, go into the classroom. And man, I've been waiting to do this for a long time. Catch somebody in the act. So we go in. I put my things down. And I go up to my classmate. And I say, "Hey." Motion to him, like, let's talk outside. And he's a little confused. He looks at me like, what? You're talking to me? Like, you mean me? Outside? Us? What? And I do this again. Alright, so we go out. I tell him, like, hey, I saw you in there. Like, you were in there. That leftmost urinal. That was you, right? Like, yep. He said, look, I noticed that you left without washing your hands. And I went on. I noticed a lot of the students in business school do this. Your parents taught you better. He says, well, you know, my parents, like, I wash my, I always, he said at some point, I washed my hands before. I thought, like, what? I said, doesn't it make more sense to wash your hands after? Like, you handled your junk. He was like, huh. Huh. I said, look, I see this all the time here. And it's what makes me do the fist bump with folks. It makes me not want to shake the hands of business school students. And the only reason why I'm telling you is because we're classmates. I was like, you're in the MBA program? He says, yep. I said, what, you know, how far along are you? First year. All right. Look, I hope I didn't make you feel too uncomfortable, but I just wanted to bring this up with you. All right. Go back in, start class. Today I tried getting this girl I met at the international night to go out, grab some coffee together, because I've been doing the Starbucks Star Dash. I had 2 more orders to make, and then I'd get my 150 bonus stars. Unfortunately, she had an interview, she said, at 4 o'clock. But now I kind of know her schedule on Mondays, so that's good. You know, that's a win. I learned where she's from in China. She reminded me, because I forgot. I'm like, hey, where are you from? Instead, I bought coffee for Quinn. And then afterwards, or bought him a drink anyways, he chose a tea. Nothing against tea, I like tea. Coffee in the mornings, usually. We went into the journalism school afterwards. Took him down to the lab. It's a great facility. I mean, it's fabulous. Kind of talked, chatted a bit, asked him about the stuff he's been working on, things that he finds interesting. I shared Yeti Eater with him. Shared the most recent broadcast, or I actually mentioned him by name, because I was talking about that Saturday, the Latin Students Association house party. And he was quite amused, and he was already logged into his Google account on that machine, so he just subscribed. So, thank you, Quinn, for becoming my, I don't know which, thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. It helps, because I've lost a couple of subs lately, and it's just like, it's flagging. I looked at data from 1 year ago today, you know, and it's been stagnant. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, like, I guess it's good that I'm maintaining, but at the same time, I'd like to see that thing grow. I think at the start of last year, I was saying, well, I want to hit 1,000 YouTube subs. That's after they announced that they were tightening up the requirements for YouTube Partner Program. So still not there yet. In fact, as of right now, I think that the channel is sitting at 452 YouTube subscribers. It's not a lot, it's not insignificant, because, you know, there are a lot of guys out there who've got like 2, mom and dad. So I guess we're winning there, but I think it's not going to happen until I get the loop in place. I mean this true 24-hour turnaround time between live content and the good stuff. It's got to be sectioned out into these tasty little chunks that people can sink their teeth into when they're sitting on the toilet taking a dump. And nobody comes to YouTube to watch hour-long bits. If it's 30 minutes long, it's got to be like 30 minutes where you're cutting every 3 to 5 seconds. That's what people are used to. You gotta give them something familiar. Otherwise, they look and like, I don't know what's going on here. We're talking separate worlds entirely. live versus post. Got to be able to hit them both. Nail them hard. So after we hung out a bit in the journalism school, I was feeling peckish, so we went over to the dining hall, and I stayed there until close. So I was there for like 2.5 hours or so, maybe 3. I don't know, doesn't matter. After this, I tried getting some folks together to go to the Tiger Grotto, which is fabulous. And I succeeded in getting one person to come along with me. Ransi, a little Sri Lankan woman. Young lady from Sri Lanka. And, when I knocked on her door, she was like, is it okay if I take this bathing costume? This, little dress-looking thing. I said, yeah, that's fine. Take whatever you feel comfortable with. I said, all right, well, I'll give you a minute. I'm going to go and change myself. I put on my own bathing suit. It's shorts. Right. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Excuse me, something just happened. That was really weird. Okay, everything looks to have held up, but for a moment I lost visual. Anyways, we're okay. So, I was kind of disappointed when she shows up in the lobby, and she's just got her coat and, leggings. Oh, she's like, look, I don't have my bathing suit. Like, well, why not? Why wouldn't you? She said, well, it's my first time, I just wanted to see the place. I said, okay, alright, I'll give you the tour. So we go on over to the gym, I show her around, put the stuff down in the lockers, and she's blown away. It's truly magnificent. Like, if you have not seen this facility, do yourself a favor and just Google Tiger Grotto, Mizzou. That's Mizzou. And fuck, man, I love it. There are few institutions in the world that have such wonderful facilities. And this is provided just for a whole bunch of young people, Alevtina, the girl from Moldova, asked what is this Tiger Grotto? And I said swimsuit competition. Because it's a gym, and it's a big school. It's pretty competitive in a way. You have some people that are really, really well built. And me, I just stopped giving a shit. I'm doing this. And also still interested in other things on the side. It'll take time. Working on it. I think, as time allows. There's so little time now. So we did the thing. 9:30, Tiger Grotto closes. With another half an hour to go before the recreation center closes. I take a shower, 10 minutes, dry out my bathing suit a bit, and show her the rest of the gym. The pump room downstairs, the quiet weightlifting area upstairs, cardio theater, and all the machines. I did some chin-ups and pull-ups. And showed some basic barbell movements. We went to the top of the parking structure and smoked a couple of cigarettes. I said hi to Gian, this young guy from Brazil. Salvador, Brazil. And I messed around with somebody else a little bit, and now I'm here, back in my space. Well, that brings us to 11:04. Wow. How time flies. Tiger Grotto. Oui. Hey. Hey world. Sunni. Kussah. Berserk for sure. What is this? Question marks. What do you want? You want me to scroll up to see if you said something interesting? Oh, okay. I think it's Luga. You saw something. Yeah, I did see. I have eyes. I'm monitoring everything. Excuse me? Luga. Luga. Okay. Luga. I will try not to forget. So just like the one with H is Huga. 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 Luga. Loud. Getting old. I kid. Still young and dumb. Ready to pump things full of bada-bum. Alright. Anyways, today's book summary reading is going to concern Scandinavians, the Danes once more, in a search for how to live a happier life. Might be useful for some people out there. Me, I've been really happy lately. Just like whistling, walking around endlessly, feeling good. Like there's a paycheck somewhere along the way. Yeah, there are a couple things I'd like to knock out before the end of the night. So, try to get through this one quick. The Little Book of Luga by Mike Viking. The Little Book of Luga from 2017 is a treasure trove of useful tips and Scandinavian secrets for how to live a happier life. It reveals many fundamental facts that contribute to human happiness and shows how Danish society has fused them into everyday life. Author Mike Viking also demonstrates how you can take these lessons and start incorporating them into your life, no matter where you live. Who should read this? Anyone who'd like to have more happiness in their life. Travelers curious about Scandinavian life. And people interested in the science behind happiness. Who wrote the book? Mike Viking is the CEO of the Happiness Research Institute of Copenhagen, where he studies global trends relating to satisfaction in life. His first book was The Little Book of Huga, an international bestseller that's available in over 30 countries. What's in it for me? Discover the secrets behind the general happiness of Scandinavian countries. Who couldn't use a little more happiness in their life? Well, what better place to go looking for it than Denmark? A country that consistently tops the lists of happiest places on earth. Author Mike Viking has compiled all the reasons for Danish happiness, from transportation, education, community activism, and charity work. It's all there with plenty of data and research to back it up. So if you've ever considered moving to Denmark to live the good life, why not find out what makes Denmark such a happy place to begin with? Chances are you can stay where you are, take these life lessons, and make your current situation a whole lot happier. In these blinks, you'll also learn why all those bikes in Copenhagen make everyone happier, how senior citizens can help new parents be happier, and why the first class section causes so much air rage. A sense of community and spending time with others rather than online is essential to happiness. Every once in a while, a list comes out that ranks the happiest places in the world. And there's one place that often takes the top spot: Denmark. But what is it that makes the Danes so happy? According to the United Nations World Happiness Report, One of the determining factors is a country's sense of community, and that people are united around a common good. When people feel like their fellow citizens have each other's back, it allows them to rest easier and happier, especially in difficult times. In 2014, a Gallup poll showed that 9 out of 10 Danes are happy to pay taxes, even though the average national income tax rate is 45%. And for those who earn over 61,500 euros, the rate is a whopping 52%. The reason Danes are so willing to pay is because it's understood that the money is going toward the common good. It acts as a safety net. All taxpayers know they'll be taken care of if they get sick or lose their job. Along these lines, Denmark was the first nation to establish bofællesskaber, which translates to living communities in English. These are voluntary co-housing arrangements where residents and families establish their own self-sufficient neighborhoods. The first bofællesskab appeared after writer Bodil Gray wrote an influential editorial entitled "Children Should Have 100 Parents." The article was a glowing endorsement of communal living, and it inspired a group of families to create Sæterdammen, a community in Hillerød, just north of Copenhagen. Fast forward to 2017, and around 50,000 Danes have joined co-housing communities, with hundreds more forming similar arrangements around Europe and America. However, while a sense of community is shown to increase happiness, there's also happiness to be found in disconnecting from the virtual world. In 2015, the Happiness Research Institute conducted an experiment that monitored participants as they stayed away from Facebook for a full week. Sure enough, those taking part reported a reduction in loneliness and significantly higher levels of satisfaction in life. Of course, stepping away from Facebook is easier said than done, but you can improve your chances of successfully cutting back by getting your friends and family on board with your plan. By joining forces and agreeing upon tech-free periods during specific days of the week or certain hours of the day, you'll ensure that those around you will also be keeping their gadgets out of sight and getting the most out of life, together. Happiness is good for your wallet. The Ad Health data, a large US sample of representative individuals, found that an individual's happiness when they're young predicts future income, regardless of other factors. Money doesn't make you as happy as anticipation of upcoming experiences. What do you think? Does more money equal more happiness? As it turns out, wealthier countries do tend to rank higher on happiness reports. But don't be fooled into thinking there's a direct connection between wealth and happiness. Take South Korea, for example. In just 2 generations, it's grown from being one of the poorest nations in the world to one of the wealthiest. Nevertheless, it has the highest rate of suicides per capita and is ranked 55th on the World Happiness Report. Studies show that what directly influences happiness are the experiences we have in life, with the anticipation surrounding these experiences being a crucial factor. After numerous studies, researchers Elizabeth Dunn and Michael Norden found that 57% of people required both the purchase of the desired product and the anticipation of making that purchase in order to feel happier. Only 34% said that the product alone made them happier. You can use this fact to your advantage by linking your purchases to an upcoming occasion or to the moment you reach a certain goal. For example, if you want to buy a new recliner for the living room, don't just order one immediately. Instead, use the purchase as a reward for ticking off a big task on your to-do list. This way, you'll not only get the happiness afforded by owning a comfy new chair, you'll be reminded of the rewarding satisfaction of finishing that job every time you sit down in it. Another way to go is to plan ahead and take advantage of the pleasure that comes with anticipation. So instead of being spontaneous, schedule your fun in advance, and in the meantime, enjoy knowing that good times are just around the corner. On the other hand, there are some happiness killers that you should avoid, like comparing your wealth to that of others. This can be tough because people like to flaunt their money. a practice that the 19th century sociologist Thorstein Veblen once called conspicuous consumption. As Veblen explained, people will spend more than they can afford in order to appear wealthier and more successful. When everyone engages in conspicuous consumption, it's like an arms race, with one person trying to outshine the next. But the only thing this really achieves is making everyone broke and miserable. So do yourself a favor and resist comparing your wealth to anyone else's. If you ever feel bad about your indulgences, just remember that one of the world's richest men, Aristotle Onassis, once spent a fortune on whale foreskin bar stools. A healthy body and mind add up to a happier life. From time to time, we could all use an extra push in getting to the gym or going out for a jog. So here's a fact to keep in mind. Being fit isn't just good for your health, it also leads to more happiness. Another reason for Denmark's happiness is its health, and a contributing factor here is the number of people who bike rather than drive. According to a 2017 study by the University of Glasgow, biking to work reduces a person's risk of premature death by 41%. Wouldn't you know it? In Copenhagen, 63% of people bike to work. And all throughout Denmark, 17% of all trips are done on a bike. Plus, for every kilometer that is cycled in Copenhagen, the city saves around 7 cents through the reduction of traffic, air pollution, and damage to roads and other infrastructure. But even if you don't have a bike, you can still travel happier. A study by researchers at Montreal's McGill University reviewed all modes of transportation to find out which one makes commuters the happiest. Results showed that walking gave people the most satisfaction, while taking the bus provided the least amount. So, if you want a healthier and happier lifestyle, the best advice is to start walking or biking to work, if you can. But good health doesn't stop with the body. A healthy mind is also key to overall happiness. In Japan, there's an increasingly popular activity known as Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, which involves absorbing the rich variety of sights, sounds, and smells that a forest has to offer. Such immersions in nature have been shown to improve both psychological and physiological health. While many agree that mental health plays a big role in happiness, some cultures still look askance at those who seek psychiatric help. South Korea's culture is one of them. As a result, the country ranks near the bottom for the number of people being treated for depression, and near the top for the number of suicides per capita. Fortunately, worldwide attitudes around mental health are changing, with many popular figures in society being open and honest about their own experiences with mental health issues. The British royal family's Prince Harry has spoken openly about his own struggles, while encouraging others not to feel ashamed about seeking help when times get tough. Andrew Steptoe of University College London surveyed 4,000 Brits aged 52 to 79 over a 5-year period and found that the happiest third had 34% lower mortality. More free time can lift your spirits. On any list of things that are important for overall happiness, freedom would probably rank close to the top. But while you might think of freedom in terms of making choices and following your dreams, there's another, often overlooked aspect of freedom: free time. People need time off, and when it comes to countries with a healthy work-life balance, Denmark ranks among the world's best. In fact, while people in the United States and United Kingdom consider it normal to work until at least 5 o'clock p.m., this would seem quite excessive to a Dane. Indeed, the average Dane puts in about 300 fewer work hours per year than the average US worker, 1,457 as opposed to 1,790. One type of person who's usually desperate for some free time is a new parent, and here Denmark has you covered as well, with 52 weeks of paid leave that can be divided between both parents. But parents need more than just time off work. They need a helping hand. This is crucial because of the parental happiness gap, which shows that, statistically speaking, new parents are usually less happy than their peers who have no kids. To better understand this, let's take a look at Portugal, where the happiest parents live. Portugal is unique in that 72% of new parents say that the child's grandparents play a key role in raising and educating their children. Naturally, with this kind of support, parents will have more free time and be happier than parents who have no such support. For this reason, Denmark created the Bonus Grandparents program for families whose grandparents are unable to play an active role in child rearing. Families that join the program are connected with senior citizens in their community, giving the parents more free time and the seniors more activities in their life. It's a real win-win. On paper, it might look as though self-employed people would be another group with less happiness. According to the World Happiness Report, they work more for less pay and have little in the way of job security. But despite these facts, freelancers often are happier, both in terms of job satisfaction and overall life satisfaction. While they have less free time, self-employed workers do tend to have more freedoms in other areas, like the freedom to pursue their passions, turn down undesirable clients, and adjust their schedule to suit their needs. Trust and empathy are crucial to a happier society. Yes or no? If you lost a wallet full of cash, do you think a stranger would bring it back to you with all the money still in it? The Canadian General Social Society posed this question to people in Toronto, and less than 25% answered yes. But when this scenario was tested by dropping 20 wallets around the city, 80% were returned with no money missing. This suggests that people don't trust their neighbors as much as they should, which is a shame because when we trust others more, we also experience more happiness. Consider the happiness-reducing effects of micromanaging. In Copenhagen, social care workers used to be tyrannically micromanaged. When they visited an elderly client, every job was planned down to the last second, so they could only spend so long on one task. Then, in 2011, changes were made so that workers only needed to clock in when they arrived at a client's home and clock out when they left. How much time they spent on individual tasks was up to them. In other words, the employees were trusted more. It was assumed that they do a good job, and they were now free to listen to an elderly person's needs and respond with the best possible care. As you might expect, the new project was a huge success. Costs remained stable while levels of worker satisfaction skyrocketed. Soon, a trust reform was spreading throughout Copenhagen's public sector and beyond. So, how can you develop more trust in your life? Start with the practice of empathy. According to a 2015 study published in the American Journal of Public Health, when preschoolers demonstrated more empathy, they were shown to have a higher rate of success in future education and employment. They also showed better mental health, with lower rates of crime and substance abuse. This is why Denmark's school system puts an emphasis on developing a child's social and emotional skills. For example, a class of young students might be shown illustrations of faces expressing different emotions and then discuss why a person might experience such feelings. According to New York's New School for Social Research, another effective way to improve sensitivity to people's emotions is to read stories together. And sure enough, this is another common classroom activity in Scandinavian countries. It's also believed that childhood development of empathy is why these countries have so few incidents of bullying. Inequality, both economic and perceived, is the enemy of happiness. Here's another yes or no question to consider. Do you believe most people can be trusted? When asked this question, the majority of people who answered yes were those who lived in countries or states with more economic equality. This is due to the fact that within a more equal society, people feel secure and see others as cooperators, not competitors. Therefore, as the level of inequality changes, so too do our feelings of trust. Currently in the United States and United Kingdom, social inequality is on the rise, while feelings of trust are on the decline. As you can imagine, this has serious repercussions. Researchers at the University of Nottingham and the University of York have found that high levels of inequality are not only responsible for less trust, but also for decreases in empathy and health, and increases in violence, crime, obesity, and teen pregnancy. So it's safe to say that feelings of inequality can greatly affect our happiness. As primatologist Franz de Waal has demonstrated, these feelings can be primal. In a test with capuchin monkeys, de Waal set up a system where a monkey would give him a stone and receive a cucumber. However, when he gave one capuchin a much preferred grape instead of a cucumber, the other monkeys were immediately enraged at the injustice, even throwing the previously prized cucumbers back at de Waal. You may have witnessed a similar response in humans who experience air rage when things don't go their way during airplane travel. In these instances, anger erupts and can even result in violence. Researchers Catherine DeSelles from the Harvard Business School and Michael Norton of the University of Toronto have found that feelings of injustice can intensify air rage, and that the worst contributor is the presence of a first-class section. It makes passengers 4 times likelier to become enraged, which is a greater intensifier than a 9-hour delay. It's especially true if the passengers from the economy section have to walk through first class to get to their seats. This further doubles the already increased likelihood of someone experiencing air rage. Being kind and charitable is a gift that gives back. You know that warm, fuzzy feeling that can come over you when you do something nice for someone, without any expectation of reward? This is known as the helper's high, and you can easily make it a regular part of your life. When you do something kind and generous, that pleasant feeling comes from the nucleus accumbens, an area of the brain that is also responsible for the good feelings that accompany eating and sex. In fact, researchers at the National Institute of Health in the United States have noticed that when people think about giving money to charity, this area of the brain lights up, just as it would if the person were thinking about a delicious meal or having sex. In a way, this makes evolutionary sense, since the survival of human beings depended upon people helping each other. So, while you might think of volunteering as being completely selfless, it is actually beneficial for you as well as others. Simply put, people who volunteer are happier than those who don't, even when you consider other influencing factors in a person's life. You might think that people who volunteer are probably already happy, but it's also likely that those who volunteer feel more grateful for what they have, since they're often exposed to people who are less fortunate in life. Regardless, there are numerous studies that also show how volunteers have more friendships and social relationships than those who don't. And if you're guessing that Danes are active volunteers, you're correct. According to the Danish Institute for Voluntary Effort, 70% of Danes have volunteered at some point in the past 5 years. So, given all the benefits, why aren't more of us volunteering? According to Jill Loga of the Norwegian Institute for Social Research, more effort needs to be made to highlight the personal benefits of charity work, including the added friendships and the helper's high. If this is starting to sound more attractive, there are many resources at your disposal. Ractivists is a name for those activists who practice random acts of kindness while encouraging everyone to be better people. You can find out more at randomactsofkindness.org. Be My Eyes is a free app that connects sighted users with visually impaired people who need some assistance in reading or identifying something. There's also a good chance that there's an organization in your community that is looking for volunteers, and it may even be addressing an issue that you feel strongly about. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone else. Final summary. The key message in this book. It may seem like Scandinavians have a monopoly on happiness, but there are many things all of us can do to improve our lives and our communities. If we build trusting, healthy, fair, and generous communities, all of us benefit. Actionable advice. Try these simple steps for bringing your community closer together. Establish a take a book, leave a book library by setting up a small collection of books in a communal space. You can put up a sign telling people they're free to borrow as long as they leave as many as they take. Start a community garden and enlist some green thumbs in your community to help maintain it. Suggested further reading: The Little Book of Huel by Mike Viking. Different countries, like different people, have different personalities. Some are more upbeat, some are more downcast. Out of all the countries in the world, Denmark is often rated as the happiest. And that's because Denmark has Huel. The Little Book of Huel from 2016 explains this concept in full and offers tips on how you can achieve it too, wherever you live. Okay. Okay. I don't know that I want to do more. Like, I've been leaving some things piling up this past few days, which is not good. I don't like I want to do that. It's just, it's always more work for myself in the future. So, hey, since today I've got my eyes in, I may as well knock this out real quick. At least the computer's not a complete pain in the ass to use. You know, like, it's been awful. Let me tell you all about it. Just kidding, just kidding. I mean, you don't need to hear me complaining. Yeah, things are good. Things are really good. That's it. In a nutshell, I'm really quite happy now. And I'm still occupying this same dismal space. But, oh, hey, do you see this? Flashlight. Flashlight. Now you see it. Feast your eyes upon me flag. Yeah, so this, I'm really excited this thing came in, because I've been waiting for it forever. And when I eventually move back down to Houston, I'll put it up somewhere prominently. You know, old boy Steve Jobs, he flew the Jolly Roger. There's something about it. A band of misfits. I don't think that you've got to be bloodthirsty to go be a pirate. Maybe back in the day. Or even now, if you're in the game of boarding vessels and trying to compromise their crew so you can grab the cargo. You know, literal piracy. But for the rest of us, it's quite easy. You can do it from the comfort of home. Me, I'm going to start paying for my software. Because and it's weird. I wanted to write a little bit about it. It was an odd phenomenon. Like, once you run into a little bit of money, suddenly you have the opportunity to become a customer. Whereas in the past, a lot of things you could only think about. Or I could think, damn it, if only I had something, then I might be able to do that. It feels so good to be a customer. Especially if you consider that so every single time that I buy from a business I like, I'm helping them. I'm helping to ensure that they can continue. So yeah, I pay attention to these little things. Remember. What the fuck? I'm noticing something very strange here. In fact, it's something that I've been noticing for a while. Photo madness, holy shit, it has been a long time. Occasionally, I'm watching out for this thing. I'm gonna have to start testing it. I've been noticing it hiccuping a little bit. I'm not sure exactly why, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Because it's unacceptable. I can't afford to lose anything. Not from here. This shit's really important to me. In case you couldn't tell. Even if it's like provides so little marginal value to the world right now, I'm trying. I'm really fucking trying. Photo madness, I've been really well. I was just talking about how happy I've been lately, man. Just like suddenly having some means, being able to actually contribute and get paid to learn, like that's great. After having been a student for so many years, like seeing this finish line right in front of me. I've got plane tickets booked to Hawaii for spring break. I'll be in Honolulu. By the time spring break comes rolling around, I'm finished with my MBA, man. And the only thing that's going to be keeping me here is a job search and the fact that I've already paid rent, essentially. Like my contract with university housing lasts up until classes are over. So I'm gonna take advantage of it. I don't like waste. Otherwise, I'd be back home, man. Like, as soon as I'm finished, like, peace. Houston's got direct flights out to Honolulu anyways. Can't wait until the next time I get out there. I'm gonna do it real big. Like, I can't fucking wait. I've already decided, like, all of those airline miles that I've been banking with ANA, I'm gonna burn them for graduation. Like, after I go back down to Houston, settle in for about a week or so, I'm gonna hit it. Going around the world, baby. I'm gonna bring you with me to some places. It's just gonna be spending time with family on the ground. People I haven't seen in ages. Like my grandparents. Oh, for anybody out there who's celebrating the Lunar New Year, Happy New Year. I hope this new year brings you joy and prosperity, good health, to you and your family. It's gonna be one hell of a year. Shit. Speaking of which, I've got to call my grandparents. And I've just got to, like, okay, I'll show up late at work tomorrow. If they don't understand, fuck them. This doesn't happen every single day. You got a job coming up. Where am I at? This isn't the bed where you slay Jigglypuff. No, it's not. Oh, dude, Jigglypuff got knocked up. Not by me. Not by me. So, like, she started seeing some dude. When I was down in Houston for the winter break, I asked her what she was up to. Cause, she told me that she was coming back from Singapore or Malaysia, wherever she was. And I wanted to see her. And I reached out to her, like, hey, you in town? She said, nope. And she shared with me that she's, like, now in a relationship with some guy. And that's good for her. I wished her well. I wished her well. And, like, you know, what am I gonna do? Like, damn it, I wish I was him. Nah, it's cool. Keep moving forward. But Stiggs, I hope you're doing well. 11th. 150 an hour. Hell yeah, man. Good money. That sounds solid. I'm very pleased for you. I'm I'm sorry I did that. Dude, I'm just like so fucking happy though. The Yeti Eater stickers should be finished sometime by the end of next week. I hope to receive them. I've got some, what the fuck? I got some e-liquid on the way because I'm almost out over here. I'll be trying to refill this thing. I have no idea how well it's gonna work. But yeah, I'm almost out. Probably gonna start. Wow, I'm down to like drops. There's practically nothing left in this thing. Yo, I'll link you in the Discord. Kussah. And Stigs, one of these days we should meet up. We'll get some bourbon going. Hey, after I graduate. Hopefully, it's gonna be in May. Like, I expect to be back down in Houston early mid-May. So, it'd be cool. Like, I really want to do more with people in Houston. But it's just like, it's been so fucking hard. It's like, it's hard here too, you know? I try to get these international kids to come with me out to the Tiger Grotto, and it's like, I think, especially with the girls, they're worried about just wearing bathing suits, you know, and like some of the guys don't have bathing suits, and I don't give a fuck. It's just like, just show up. You know, like if you're over here and you don't use that facility, you are missing out in a big way. It's so good. Like I feel reinvigorated after spending some time out there, the steam room, the sauna, hot tub, and then, you know, just some simple movements. Feeling much better. The heat helps a lot with all that soreness. You know, soreness, tension. Am I in the MO? Yeah, I'm in Como. I've been getting more comfortable. Like, so when I started broadcasting again, for some reason, you know, I shared so many details about my past life. And for whatever reason, I remained mum. I don't know, not until like winter break did I flip the switch. I was talking with Kussah and saying like, yeah, I noticed I caught myself doing this. And he was like, yeah, I mean, it's understandable, you know, because you're currently there. You're in it. It's, no, it's silly. It's like, this is incongruent with how I've been comporting myself the rest of the time. Sure, like, I might not mention what banks I do business with, but, or what my next move is, although, seriously, I'm constantly talking about what I'm going to do next. That's part of the trouble, I think, is I talk too much. And I need to do more. But part of the reason why the reason why I talk about it is because I'm hoping that someone out there is going to see it and go like, oh shit, that sounds perfect. I'm really interested in that. Like, this guy sounds like he's really, really passionate about this, and he's asking for supporters. Like, I'm going to reach out to him. I want people to reach out to me about my projects and just say, hey, I'm ready, let's fucking go. But so far, it's like, dude, shit's hard. It's just real hard. I don't know what I've got to do. I use the Twitter, and I post, but I don't post about my projects there. I've been trying to get away from blowing my own trumpet. You know? Like, during the show, it's my show. So, I'll spend some time talking about myself and my efforts. Right, my plans, visions for the future, but like Twitter more and more so is just like, just fucking with people. I'm there just to fuck around with people. I bet that ultimately I'll end up shadow banned. Like, who knows, maybe I'm already shadowed, I don't know. Like, I've made a couple of colorful tweets. Photo man is the money to fund the project. It's not even about the money right now, man. Like, I'm working now. I'm getting paid now. It's not great money, but it's money nonetheless. I ran the numbers. I'm gonna accumulate something like $1,000 a month, you know, and that's just for the first few months, because I need to sock away some money into my 401k, right? And after that, it's just like the ceiling is gonna go way the fuck up. I'm gonna have quite a bit of free capital to play with, so it's not the money. It's never about the money, dude. The money is only truly useful if you're trying to hire the best talent. But here's the thing, I don't need the best talent. I just need people who are actually willing to sit down and just examine shit with me. Like people to bounce ideas off of. People who are willing to pick up a bit of slack. And like, you'll hear me say things like, yeah, if you're willing to do this, then there will be a reward. Right? I gotta give credit where credit's due. I believe very strongly in this. Because it's easy to take something from someone and then just run away with it, right? I've talked about this in the past, like neighbor kid that burns a bridge with me over $10. Right. It's pathetic. There's some real low rent motherfuckers out there. I don't know what to say. Just, like that's really, really sad. I tried to help you out, and you want to fuck me for $10. It's cool, good luck. You're gonna need it. Because one of these days, that kid's gonna cross the wrong guy. And all of these little misdeeds he did, they're gonna get him. They're gonna bite him hard. And I pray for his sake that day never comes. That he always crosses good people only. Never comes across anybody with any feelings of malice. You crossed the wrong guy, man. You're dead. $10? Nothing to me. Just laughable. But somebody who really needs it, you might see what else you've got. Especially if you act big. Part of why I'll talk about these things I'm working on, outside of trying to attract the right people, potential collaborators. In fact, this isn't the right way to do it. But part of the reason is because years down the line, when I've got everything streamlined to the point where, have been able to go back through the corpus, I want to be able to point to it, or other people to rediscover it and go like, holy shit, he said that. Like, this fool said that, and he made it happen. I try to keep my word. That bot. Hey, Happy New Year to you too, man. I don't know who you're talking about, that bot. Which one? Yeah, $10. Why not? $10 Maybe. Yeah, I mean, AI is not actually artificial intelligence. He's actually an intelligent human being. Who keeps telling me he's gonna quit Twitch. He keeps telling me. I keep catching him on here. I don't know what that's about, AI. Hey, by the way, if my research that I've done is right, for the same price as you would pay for like one of these little poach credit card holders, you can get really nice American-made, American leather wallet. Same price. That will last you a lifetime. This is pretty cool, because I was looking at, like, it's ultra high-end shit. I was thinking, oh man, I lost my Coach wallet. It's okay, it was just a Coach wallet. I'm thinking Prada. Like if I'm gonna go big, we'll go with the Prada, or is it Ferragamo? Ferragamo? It's Ferragamo. It's gotta be. Italian leather. Right? World renowned. Like, Americans, come on. We've been fucking with leather for a long time. We're pretty good at it. I would like to think. I hope so. So, it was quite surprising to me that for $45 you can actually get a really solid wallet. And the most I've ever spent on a wallet was something like $80. It was a Polo Ralph Lauren one, and I returned it ultimately because I was like, yeah, it's nice, but it's kind of chunky. And now I have this really slim one for personal use. It's slim, it's got a money clip. Right now I'm carrying too much cash. But yeah, it's good. Does its job. Holds 6 credit cards, driver's license window. You don't need to see the details. So just a thought, like, you could go all out. I don't think I'd do at first I was thinking like no to Louis Vuitton because they're very loud. You look at the monogram pattern, it's just loud, right? And then I looked around at their inventory a bit and realized they actually have some more subtle designs, like a lot more subtle. I knew this shit too. They have this check design, for example, gray check, looks pretty good, and more subtle designs than that. But then I thought a little more. I was like, yeah, the French are pretty fucking snobby. In fact, I'm pretty sure there was an incident some years back where like the CEO or president of the company that's responsible for Cristal, and with that I think it's also like Louis Vuitton, some other luxury brands out of France, made some comments talking about Cristal and not wanting to serve it, not wanting to sell it to certain demographics. And this caused a huge uproar. And I thought back to that and I was like, oh, there's another reason not to buy it. Like, yeah, you could do it. Meanwhile, the Italians, yeah, they're pretty racist too. But they're kind of seen as like Euro trash, And I can kind of fuck with that. Like, in a lot of ways. When they first came to this country, they had a hell of a time. Like, them and the Irish. It's every single new group is shat on. Non-stop. I think now you get more and more immigrants coming to this country out of the Middle East, refugees. So who knows? Maybe eventually East Asian people like me will become seen as regular members of the society. I don't know. I don't live in an enclave. Never have. But I like Hawaii. Photo madness? Yeah. I like creative minds. Creative folks should support each other. I've talked about this before. Because it's tough as hell out there. Like, it's so competitive. And it shouldn't be a matter of whoever is willing to throw the most dollars at the problem wins. It shouldn't be like this. And then go back to blowing one's own trumpet last. Changing things a little bit at a time. kind of getting smart. About time. And Stigs, I normally don't carry cash either. The only reason why I have cash at all, I sold my Xbox One the other day for $130, and this guy from Nicaragua offered me $20 for one of these guys, a little e-cig thing I'm puffing on, which is pretty cool. I talked about it yesterday. It's wound up being a really a solid moneymaker. I could abuse it all day, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna have the 2 pods and refill them and be happy. And each one of these pods holds something like, I think it was like 1.8 milliliters of fluid, which is nothing. Like, I'll go through 1.8 milliliters in a single day with my setup. I'll go through like 3 milliliters in a day. If I really try, I'll go through 3. Because you know how I am. I'm just like constantly. It's just how I do. So, because it's running through this little system, the draw is it's not nearly as capable of the volume that my setup is. So it's just, 1.8 milliliters, it gets you by for a few days. Unless you're constantly hitting it, and I haven't been constantly hitting it because I'm usually at work. I said I would spend some time on the computer, just knock out some of the shit. I'm thinking about selling all my gaming stuff. Photo Madness. I think that's a great idea. I support this idea. Myself, I recently acquired a Nintendo Switch for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. In total, I've spent maybe 30 minutes playing with it. Like actually playing on it, playing a game. And right now it's in its box. I've got all the packaging material on it. I haven't had time to fuck with it. You know? So just ditch it. Just ditch it. Like if you've got your own business you're working on, if you got the job in addition to your side hustle, like just focus on that. You know? Because that will pay back many, many multiples over the course of your life. Whereas the gaming, it's like, sure, it's great to kick back and unwind for a while, but like, have you seen a good movie lately? Have you looked at the IMDb top 250? Like, there's some incredible films that have been made over the years, and these are usually right. So like, I love watching good movies, and a while back I talked about taking, like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to take a new girl out to see a film every Tuesday. I'm still working towards this. Like, I need to meet more people in order to make it happen. I need to be meeting something like, I don't know, let's say conservative guess. If I get 3 girls' numbers a day, then by the end of like a couple of weeks, I'll probably be able to do that, right? Oh, I mean, at that rate, I'll probably be able to see somebody every single night. And that'd be fun. Right now, I've got like 2 prospects that I'm working on. One's got a cold, but we'll go hang out sometime. And the other, I don't know, I'll figure it out. In the meantime, I'm keeping my eyes open, looking around. I'm feeling good. Like, things will escalate quickly because I'm in a really good state, and that's huge. You can't buy that. We know this because we've seen very wealthy people like lose just a fraction of their fortunes, and they go nuts. They fucking kill themselves. It's not about the money. I mean, okay, I take that back. It's not about the money after a certain point, right? And for me, that bar is super fucking low, because I'm fine. I've been fine, and that's why I said from the really beginning, like, this broadcast's purpose is not to make me a millionaire, whichever one it is. This is strictly if you want your name up, right? That's it. That's it. There's no minimum. Maybe one day there's going to be a minimum for me to update this. But in the meantime, like, every single time somebody just throws a little something my way, okay, I'll go through the site, I'll do the thing. That's it. I'm actually glad that not too many people donate, because this means I spend less time on my website, for better or for worse. Like, I don't have very much time right now. Maybe or money once I get this business thing spun up. What the fuck, I just did it again. Maybe after I get this business thing spun up, things will move faster. I suspect things will continue to move faster from here on out. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Wants and needs, man. Like, I've got infinite wants, just like you do. I wanted a nice lighter. I don't have a nice lighter. I want gas for it. I ordered gas. I don't have the gas. It's not here yet. But, you know, it will come. I wanted, no, needed some proper tools with which to clean my ears. So I bought it. This was like $6. One of the best $6 I've spent so far in my life. And I've spent a lot of $6. Like, sometimes spending $6 for a fucking beer that you just like, you drink and you're like, shit, that was not a really good beer. But I'll take another one. Nail clipper, like $6. Another example of an excellent $6 spent. But yeah, feeling much better now, man. Able to actually operate. Once or twice a week. Editing or sleeping. Partner, camera, gear in the house, quite happy. High rise in the city. Cheap beer is best beer, thank you. I'm all about the dollar beers. Like, you throw dollar beers at me, I'm there. You have an open bar at an event, I'm definitely there. And I'm probably liable to say some stupid shit. But it's, you know, it's never like trying to deliberately harm people shit. Just talk. Just nothing. I didn't mean any harm. Free drinks, best drinks. Dude, somebody invited the international students group to a Super Bowl watch party. It was hosted at this like church-going guy's house. Not just a church-goer, he's like a community organizer for the church. Just dealing with the young college-level students. And I asked, hey, is there gonna be any booze? Nope. Is it alright if I bring my own booze? Probably not. Like, not. Not going. You're gonna watch the fucking Super Bowl and not drink? Come on. I don't get what's with religious people, like, just religious people and then this anti-inebriation thing, or just the anti-drinking altogether. Like, what? Dude, why do you think God made alcohol? He clearly wanted us to enjoy it. You know, you don't need to be puking your guts out and showing up hungover to church, but your God put alcohol on this earth so that we could enjoy it. And we didn't have to go and make it. The fruit just ferments. The monkeys get drunk. Like, of course, he wants us to drink. Whereas people want to become alcoholics. Clearly there's something in there. Just don't overdo it. Blue monkey food. More money, more problems, huh? Maybe. Maybe. That's why I like it. Past a certain point, just it's whatever. Like, all right, at a certain point with the money, you can have a $10 million mansion. You can have a different exotic car for every single day of the week. You can always fly first class, even if it's only like a 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive. You can fly up front. You can have designer everything from head to toe, and still have more money left over to burn. You can drink the most expensive wine. You can buy the most expensive meat, the best produce. And it's just like, well, I'm eating good, living large. But I don't know, like, aside from the cool car, like the cool noises it makes, I'm not really going any faster than I was when I was pushing a 5 Series. This California king-size bed only helped me sleep marginally. These Tide Pods don't do too much better a job than the other stuff. I kid, Tide Pod's definitely not the top. $100,000 watch doesn't tell time any better than the $5 one. It sure makes people look. Like if I had it, yeah, I'd want the car, because I'm a gearhead. Don't care too much about the timepiece, but there is one on my mind, just because I find it to be a classic. Don't care much about much else. Good food is a must. Good food, good drink, but it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be opening up Lafitte every single time. Constantly drinking champagne, like, oh, the California stuff's not good enough for you? No. It's more fun when everybody can enjoy it. Right? Inclusion. As opposed to a, look at me. I'm one of the elites. Look at my consumption habits. Okay. I would probably get some pretty nice clothing though. Not necessarily outerwear. Like not like stupidly expensive t-shirts. For what? They're not all that. Just like the leather wallets I was talking about earlier. It's not all that. But today I was walking around wearing this. I mean, this wasn't the only thing I was wearing, mind you. But hey, you may remember this underwear. That was a gift from this girl. Someone I used to know. And I like it. I mean, it's like this one set of Burberry underwear that I've got. I don't know that I need all Burberry underwear, but you know, if it was there, I wouldn't mind it. Just like on with this, and I'm like, yeah, I feel pretty money. Nobody needs to know I've got it on, but I feel fucking good. It's form-fitting. How are you gonna own a car that goes 200 and never go over 80? Because you're afraid of the track. You gotta stay hungry, man. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, right? again, something that old boy Steve said. Stay hungry. No matter what. I always look at it like this. I was talking with Leonid, our friend from St. Petersburg, and he's been serving at this nice restaurant frequented by tourists. He met a girl there. She was like 16, 17. She was there for like school, required to work for like a week for school, some experiential stuff. And they hit it off, but he was saying to me, yeah, I don't want to pursue her because she's too young. She's criminally young. I said, well, okay, you say this, but do you know what the law is? He's like, no, but she's too young. She's criminally young. I said, okay, look, I'm gonna take a look. Or look, age of consent, 16. And he's it's not like he's 30, you know, or older. Like, man, if you're 50 and you're fucking with 16-year-olds, I guess, like, kudos, man. You got something they like. But anyways, he kept insisting, she's too young, she's too young. I said, well, she been in a relationship before? Yeah, she dated a guy my age. Okay. So you understand, like, you guys hit it off, and you really like her, like, you should pursue her. Because if you don't, some scumbag is going to. And he's gonna fuck her up a lot worse than you would. Because you believe you're a good person? Yeah. Yeah. So you should do it to save her from winding up with some scumbag who's just gonna fuck her up. Yeah, and you know, who knows, maybe Leonid would fuck her up too. But probably in his own sick, twisted way. I don't know, just saying. It's like, it's strange. Society has a set of rules for us, but then we impose upon ourselves this whole other set. And you've got to ask, does this belief help me or not? Right, so stay hungry. Not for underage girls, but like to keep moving up, keep learning. Because you're never at the top. Especially in fast evolving fields, like, so much happens there. But like, I had the option when I went to college to study electrical engineering or study petroleum engineering. Could have done double E at UT Austin. And instead I was like, nah, I'm gonna go become a petroleum engineer like my father. And part of the reason why I didn't gravitate towards the electrical engineering is because I think both of my uncles studied it. And I look at my one uncle, my little uncle, we call him, 小叔叔. And he's got, all these books. It's always like, Dummy's Guide to this, Dummy's Guide to that. Some programming language books, just a whole bunch of them. I looked at it and I was like, no, I don't know about that. I'd rather be in a field that doesn't move too fast. I'd rather be in something that's just like, that's more or less stagnant. Like, hey, extracting oil from the ground. How much more basic can you get? Locate the shit, make a hole, lay some pipe, get the stuff out of the ground. And maybe this says something about the way I approached the world at that age. Yeah, there's always somebody ahead of you. And you should absolutely keep striving for your own sake. If not for the sake of the people out there whose lives could be better off because you had the skills to make it happen. The top end is really, really high. Like, there really is no ceiling. Right? Of course, if you stick to the corporate life, the ceiling's at a different height for each of us. People have written countless articles on this shit. Look at the data. don't need to regurgitate it. It's not to say, oh, you gotta go startup life only. No, I mean, you can make it really high up in the corporate world too. Of course, it's not everything. I recognize that. But if you still have the potential, like, by all means, exercise that potential. Why are you holding back? It's something that scientists asked me during our first conversation. He was quite drunk. He said, I feel like you're holding back. I said, how? Well, wait, what do you mean? He was drunk. Maybe he was right though. Maybe I still am. But I like to think that the time spent here is time well spent. If not, just for my own sake, because it might help somebody. Maybe you don't need to hear this shit. But the next man listens to it and says, hey, fuck. You know, that resonates deeply with me. I'm going to figure out what the statute is regarding the age of consent laws in my state. I'm going to chase the youngest tail I can. Oh, man. Yeah. Blue monkey. Absolutely, man. What is it? Like, perfection is the enemy of getting shit done? I recently updated my Twitter bio. I don't know how many people will read this shit. Maybe someday more people will read it. I don't fucking know. But in the past, I had written in here, like, hashtag free money. But, golly, that's really compromising. It's compromising this principle that I've held for some time. Back in the early days of this channel. And I don't want to do that anymore. So instead of hashtag free money, I only have this. I know it's hard to make out because it's dark blue against a black background. But you can see that, can't you? You know what that means. Commit. Just fucking commit. Early and often. Never stop. But figure out what you're doing it for. Why you do it. I know why I do this. Why I do what I do. Maybe you already know. So this advice just kind of preaching to the choir. It's a risk I run every single time I open my mouth here. Because I can't see the other person. I can't see you. Even though I know from chat that you're out there. So yeah, FaceTime is valuable. I learned with text to ask plenty of questions. And just in dealing with people, generally ask questions. Make sure they're talking a lot more than I am. But sometimes I get carried away. And I'll ramble. I'll ramble with the best of them. Yeah, sorry. I missed you earlier. Look, I'll take a look back over what you said. I know today's wind-up was pretty long-winded, but I've got my reasons. You know this, yeah? Oh, wow. You act like that's a new thing. You act like this is something that just happened. No need to look back. Are you sure? Fuck that shit. They call out. That call out. Holy shit, all before and after. Just do a light bow. Yeah, well, hey. I was doing my thing. Am I spending Lunar New Year on campus? Yeah. On Sunday there was like a community event. It was hosted in part by the Confucius Institute, but it was also Super Bowl Sunday, and this is I made a repeat decision of one I made many years ago. But this time was a little different because the first time I chose to watch the Super Bowl instead of going to eat with a friend. His wife was making food. And I regret that decision. This time it's just like, it's a community event, I don't know if there's going to be food there. Meanwhile, on the other hand, I've got this Super Bowl watch party where I've already paid in just by virtue of my being a student enrolled within this program, and they're going to have food and drink. Like, okay, I'm going to go to the watch party. That's an easy decision. The other one is complete unknown. Yeah, I could spend some more time like building rapport with Chinese students, but Chinese students can be somewhat prickly. In my experience, and I asked one of them about it. He's actually from Shanghai as well. I say as well. My family's from the area, you know. I asked him yeah, well, what's this about? It's just this thing. Just like they were talking about in that book. How the Koreans, although they're quite wealthy, they're also offing themselves at surprisingly high rates. I pointed out to them, well, that's it. Look, people are hardwired to want this, to build good connections. And so the other day, I was walking around the place, cup of coffee in my hand after eating breakfast, and I see this girl. I thought she was like, yeah, I think she's a Chinese girl. I've seen her around. She's pretty decent looking. So, you know, she's like walking on the sidewalk, and I kind of slowed down a bit, and then I caught up with her. I said, hi. I asked where she's from. She looks at me, really briefly looks at me, just as quickly turns away. I said, hi. Like, oh shit. I swear I saw her roll her eyes in that brief moment. And I said, where are you from? What's your response? China. I said, okay, cool. I just kept walking. I walked. And we reached this intersection, and there's this Chinese guy, like, further uphill. He waves. And I look at him and I'm like, I can see movement, you know? I look at him and I'm like, I don't recognize this guy. And she just like kind of bolts, makes a beeline for him. And they chat. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, I veer off in another direction, because I had shit to do. That was the day I ordered the stickers. Said I'd get it done, I got it done. Hey, Sunyi, this is kind of funny. About last week, towards the end of the evening, I was chatting with the Brazilian guy, Jian, and Sri Lankan girl, Ransi. Xian says to me, "You look like Jackie Chan." I said, "What?" Like, yeah, like when you laugh, when you smile, you look like Jackie Chan. Like, what? No. The only reason you think this is because that's like all the exposure you've had is just like two stock characters out of Hollywood. One being Jackie Chan. They're like, no, you really do. Like, you have the same face. Ronsi joins in, like, as I kind of go off, she's like, "Good night, Jackie Chan." I go back to her and say, like, "I'm deeply offended, but good night." She's like, "What?" No. He's from Salvador. He told me it's like predominantly black there. It's all good. Anyways, present time 12:26 a.m. Sunni, you should be asleep. And me, I'm gonna go brush my teeth and go crash because I don't need to be up much longer. It's late. It's late. I got work in the morning. But thank you. You made it to the end of the night. As always, it's been a pleasure. I hope I didn't bore you with all the little details, but that's kind of what life vlogging is about. The details are important. Maybe not important to you right now, but maybe they'll never be important. But they're important to me. And so I'm going to use my time to speak my mind and quiet this monkey brain. Still got a long ways to go till the next weekend, but things to look forward to already on the calendar. Next week, a really big thing to look forward to. I'll share details. Thank you again. This is all. I wish you well until the next time. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.